Well, hello and happy Thursday, everyone. It is digital host A.J. Wuest welcoming you back to Before the Four, where I take you through 48's top news stories and then some before our 4 o'clock newscast. Wherever you're watching the live stream today, thank you for watching and spending some of your Thursday afternoon with me here. And you know, the weather is not looking too great over the next few days, which means I am going to need a pick-me-up. And that leads right into our 48 Facebook question of the day. What is your go-to comfort food when you need a pick-me-up? Make sure to stick around for the end of today's Before the Four because I'm going to shout out a few of my favorite comments from you all. But until then, I think it is now that time we jump into it for the day. And starting things off, today, of course, is a 48 first alert weather day. Due to Hurricane Helene impacts we are experiencing here in the Tennessee Valley. Heavy winds and strong rains are expected tonight, but don't just take it from me. 48 first alert meteorologist Chelsea Aaron has more details on the tropical storm. Chelsea?
Yes, AJ, all eyes continue to be on Hurricane Helene as it is projected to make landfall in just a few hours along the Big Bend of Florida as a major hurricane. Now, it will be bringing potentially unsurvivable conditions of storm surge. Storm surge could be as high as 15 to 20 feet along the Florida coast, and it is a very large storm, so the wind field will be moving likely well into Georgia. Now, we will be tracking heavy rain for us and also strong gusty winds beginning late this evening, overnight, and into your Friday morning. From there, it will continue to lift north-northwest, bringing additional rounds of rain likely for your upcoming weekend. The worst of the rain looks to occur across areas in northeast Alabama overnight tonight and through your early morning commute on Friday. We will finally get some breaks in the rain likely by Friday afternoon, but note we could see flooding all the way through Saturday morning. Areas along and east of I-65, you could pick up rain totals anywhere from 4 to 6 inches, so please watch out for potentially flooded roadways. Areas to the west, you likely will stay drier and your winds will diminish quite quicker.
Well, thank you, Chelsea. And also staying on the topic of the weather, Hurricane Helene, which Chelsea just mentioned there, it is expected to make landfall in Florida later tonight as a potentially catastrophic Category 4 storm. Thousands of Florida residents have already been told to evacuate, and the time to do so is running out. NBC's Tom Yamas has more.
Bigger than 4 foot. In Florida this morning, it's a race against time.
The eye of the storm is coming in this region.
Residents making final preparations, bracing for Hurricane Helene. The monster storm strengthening overnight, picking up steam in the warm Gulf waters as it races towards the coast. Helene already slamming popular vacation destinations in Mexico, like Cancun. The hurricane could potentially intensify to a Category 4 when it reaches Florida with sustained winds near 130 miles per hour. And Tallahassee, the state's capital, could get hit the hardest.
We are prepared. We are 100% prepared, and we will respond. Nonetheless, this is going to be a catastrophic storm, and it's going to have severe damage.
Some areas along Florida's west coast expecting the storm surge to potentially reach up to 20 feet.
A mandatory evacuation has been ordered. Please leave this area.
At sea, cruise ships in the Gulf being diverted to avoid the storm.
So it's storming a little bit.
Hillary Patterson and her family stuck aboard the Carnival Paradise. With at least an extra day or two at sea, Patterson is worried about her home in Port St. Joe, right in Helene's path. The same home devastated in 2018 by Hurricane Michael.
You've got a lot of people that we've got a free fun day on the water. They are so excited. And then you've got people like us that really need to get home because our, homes are in the path of the hurricane.
Air travel not much better, with all flights grounded at Tampa International Airport today, while first responders are preparing for potential emergencies.
We could expect anything from swift water and flooded area rescues to structural collapse.
But they're also sending out this urgent message.
Emergency responders will not be able to help you until the threat passes. You will essentially be on your own.
Well, thank you, Tom. Now in Muscle Shoals, where 2 police officers involved in a fatal officer-involved shooting on Sunday have now been cleared to return to work. Now, according to police, the incident occurred when officers were called to Tuxedo Avenue Sunday evening. Upon arrival to the house in question, 3 officers entered into the home to find a man armed with a knife. The man armed with the knife was later identified as Robert Parrish. Now, officers say they asked Parrish to drop the knife over 100 times before Parrish allegedly charged at the officers. Now, this caused the officers to use their tasers. However, they said Parrish was able to fight through it. That's when the 3rd officer fired at Parrish, which ultimately killed him. Police said all 3 officers were placed on leave. However, after reviewing all evidence, police determined the officers didn't violate any rules during the deadly shooting and cleared them to return to work. Police officials said this was an unfortunate incident that has taken a toll on the Muscle Shoals Police Department. An independent investigation is still underway by the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency. And 48's Aria Pons will have more on this situation coming up at 4. And just up the road, now in Florence, where a woman is celebrating her 110th birthday. Now, officials with the city of Florence said Cunningham's life and legacy in the city is a continued celebration. Her name, of course, Lily Cunningham, who you're seeing on screen there. To recognize the huge milestone, Cunningham was honored by the Florence mayor, Andy Betteron, and it was declared by the Florence City Council today as Lily Cunningham Day. After Council President Katrina Simmons requested cards for Cunningham in a Facebook post online, the birthday girl received more than 200 cards from police across the country, including one from President Joe Biden himself. We wish the young lady a very, very happy birthday. Such a cool story there. But now a few stories in case you missed them. After a 15-year-old boy was shot and killed in Huntsville earlier this month, the Alabama NAACP shared a powerful message for students, urging them to put the guns down. 48's Nick Ballinger has the story.
15-year-old Philip Wayne Fletcher was shot and killed back on September 3rd on Max Luther Drive when teens in one car fired on another. All of the people involved were under the age of 18. Fletcher was a student at Mae Jemison High School in Huntsville.
Give our thoughts and prayers to all of the parents who are affected by gun violence, and particularly our students, because it's hard getting over and trying to grasp what things are going on in the world today.
Tonight, a homecoming pep rally used as a way for school officials to invite leaders of the Alabama NAACP to deliver a powerful message.
Really touched our radar. I mean, it woke us up, especially when they lost a student just here recently. And they're not just shooting, they're killing.
Keisha Hendricks, the vice president of the Huntsville NAACP, is urging kids in the community to believe that they are stronger without a gun.
I've seen that it's become a big issue, especially not just in Alabama, but in other places as well. It hurts, man, because it's people who are my age. So it's not even like people who actually should be getting in trouble for that. It's just like people who look like me and act like me. So it really hurts to see.
Keyshawn Harper wants to change the narrative when it comes to what young people value.
I think that the biggest problem right now is like what we see on TV and social media. It's really a big influence on people's lives these days.
So we can reach them. If we can just save one child, we're on the road.
Yep. Thank you, Nick. And now in Ardmore, where the town recently received over $20 million from the state to replace its wastewater treatment plant. 48's Daquan Lee with more.
According to Ardmore's mayor, their water system has been an issue for years and on the brink of collapse. Now, thanks to ADEM, the EPA, and state lawmakers, the town is now well on its way to correcting the problem.
This grant represents the largest infrastructure investment in Ardmore's history, and I think that deserves a round of applause.
Wednesday afternoon was a historic moment for the small town on the Alabama-Tennessee state line. In a joint state effort, more than $22 million will be going towards the town's sewer system, including replacing the town's wastewater treatment plant. Billy Shannon, Ardmore's mayor, says this project is long overdue.
We've had this problem. Our infrastructure and our plant is not, we're getting more water than we can handle. So this was definitely a major step for our town and city. And I don't know what would have happened had we not got it.
Alabama State Representative Andy Wuest said the system was on the brink of failure and was becoming a health hazard for its residents. He says over the last 19 months, the water that was going into the treatment facility was putting it over capacity.
That means runoff. That means runoff into our streams, runoff into our streets. And it's a health issue, and it's something that with this grant and the partnerships and the collaborations that we've got, we're going to get fixed now.
Of the $22 million, $20 million came from the Alabama Department of Environmental Management. Witt believes once contracts are handed out, the project will take 2 years to complete. Reporting in Ardmore, DeQuan Lee, 48 on your side.
Thank you, DeQuan. Now in Florence, where 48's Aria Pons was yesterday, speaking with a concerned parent who says speeding drivers must be stopped. Take a listen.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Jared Colwell says the city of Florence has a huge issue. Colwell has a son who rides the special needs bus every single day. And every single day, Colwell's out there to send him off, greet him, and catch any car that decides to break the law and go around the stopped bus.
I filmed 2 city vehicles. I filmed a police officer running. I've had tanker truck, a semi.
Colwell says he attended the city council meeting to try and get anyone to help. City council member Bill Griffin says he was touched by the story of Colwell and his son and took action.
So I walk out in the road and I hold my sign up. Yesterday, the vehicle stopped more than a city block away because it's hard to miss me, number one. And when I'm holding the stop sign up, it's really hard to miss me.
Griffin says he'll be here in the afternoon holding his stop sign up and holding traffic at bay as the bus unloads. But he knows this isn't a permanent solution.
Ultimately, I think the cameras on the buses giving out tickets based off the tag, like the traffic cams, would be the best way to go.
Griffin and Colwell say the buses need those cameras, but each one comes with a $5,000 installation cost, and the district just started a new 4-year lease with its bus provider.
If you're going to get results, you don't do the same thing. This started when this child started to school. He's 18 years old. They've not been able to fix it since he moved to Florence. So you do what it takes.
Well, thank you, Aria. Now let's talk about what's going on this weekend in Huntsville. Of course, the South Star Music Festival is coming to town, but also on Sunday, and I'm speaking to my wrestling fans who are watching right now, WWE is coming to the Von Braun Center. Now, earlier today, I got the chance to speak with WWE wrestler who's performing at this weekend's Super Show, Mr. Braun Breaker. Take a listen to what Braun had to say about this weekend's Super Show. And finally, Braun, what are you looking forward to the most about this weekend at the Von Braun Center in Huntsville?
I just can't wait to see the fans and be back out there. I'm just very excited. It's been a few months since I've been on a Super Show, and I really look forward to doing those just because they're so much fun. They're such a personal experience with the fans, and get to have a lot of fun. It's a great time.
Absolutely. Super exciting there. It sounds like a super awesome event. Definitely rooting for Braun Breaker there, of course. And speaking of 48 Now interviews, yesterday I spoke with Gin Blossom singer Robin Wilson as he and his band prepares for the South Star Music Festival. Take a listen to some advice the Hey Jealousy singer gave to those aspiring to break into the music industry. What's some advice you give to aspiring musicians and rock stars trying to make it in the industry today?
Well, I generally the first piece of advice I give is to pursue it for your own reasons, not because you want to become famous or because you want to get a recording contract or score a certain number of views or likes. You have to do it for your own purposes, and you have to do it regardless of any acknowledgement or success. And to that end, the next piece of advice I give is that you have to write good songs. You have to work hard to become a good songwriter, because it's not about the individual talent of the group or the style or how good a singer I am or a guitar player or whatever. It always comes down to having songs that people can connect to and are memorable. So songwriting is really the most important thing. If you want to do what I do, be a member of an original band playing original music, it all comes down to the quality of the songwriting.
What's some super great advice there, of course. Thank you, Robin. And you can find both of those 48 Now interviews on our website under the 48 Now section. And now another story. Fame Recording Studios in Muscle Shoals is turning 65 years old, and they are saddling up and hitting the road for Huntsville next weekend, October 4th and 5th, for the 65th years of Fame and the Muscle Shoals Sound Celebration. The other day, I spoke with Rodney Hall. He is the president of Fame Studios. And take a listen to what he thinks the next 65 years of Fame will be like. But Rodney, it's now been 65 years of Fame. But what do you think the next 65 years will look like for the 130th birthday celebration?
I hope I'm not around. But you know, we hope to keep going. You know, that's our plan. We're constantly, we've been making music for 65 years, 365 days a year, and there's not many businesses in the world, much less recording studios, that could say that. So you know, we just want to continue doing it with young and up and coming talent and songwriters, musicians, artists. And we do that daily, and just we plan to keep the traditions going.
But Rodney, absolutely. Wow, I can't believe it. 65 years of Fame. Definitely have to shout out Fame Studios. Happy birthday. Yeah, that is a huge milestone, and it is only going to continue growing. But so much rich history. Just in that area, I don't know, did they put something out in the water in the shoals that is giving people musical talent? Because I think I need some of that water for sure. But super awesome interview there. But now let's head into the stories you're just not going to want to miss in our evening newscasts. A $1 billion plant opening today that will ultimately help build solar panels in Lawrence County. Get that story from 48's Daquan Lee. And Albertville mom speaking out after a high school student was arrested just 2 days ago. Get that story from 48's Savannah Sapp. And finally, the last story you're just not going to want to miss, the latest on the ongoing flooding issues in Moulton. These are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss in our evening newscasts. And of course, you're just not going to want to miss our evening newscasts in general. That is another thing you're just not going to want to miss. But now it is time, of course, for Facebook fun. You all have waited long enough. And just as I said earlier, our 48 Facebook question of the day: what's your go-to comfort food when you need a pick-me-up? There's just so many great, amazing foods out there. I don't think there is a go-to food for me, because I just like eating everything. But I want to know what you all have to say. I probably agree with a lot of these comments here, but let's see. Wendy Lawson said chicken and dumplings. Absolutely, especially on like a kind of a cold, dreary day. It might be like overcast and raining and like in the 20, 30 degree weather. So that is 100% my go-to. I am getting chicken and dumplings. So good. Absolutely, Wendy. Thank you for commenting. Jeff Bradford, he actually commented yesterday also, but it was the same comment, fried bologna. 100% cannot go wrong with some fried bologna. And put it on a sandwich, get some mayo. Fried bologna, you cannot go wrong with that. That is for sure. Jeff, thank you for commenting. Marie said ice cream. I mean, it's ice cream. Come on. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't even matter what flavor for me. I will eat it all. Marie, thank you for commenting. Bonnie Bragwell said tomato sandwich. Absolutely. Gotta love a good tomato sandwich for sure. And then Ashley Keeper said Mexican and cheese dip. 100%. Thank you for commenting. And then Patricia, she said pizza. Cannot go wrong with pizza. Patricia, thank you for commenting. Well, that is all the time I have in today's Before the Four, but I want to thank you all for sticking around and spending a little of your Thursday afternoon with me. Make sure to stay tuned tonight for 7 for the 48 Blitz preview show, along with Beyond the Lights Athens. You're just not going to want to miss it. But with that said, thank you for watching. You all have a great night.